Hey guys, it's Megan, and in today's video, I'll be showing you 5 more easy Cricut crafts for beginners. Most of these projects are fairly small, so it's perfect for anyone just starting out that might not have built up a huge collection of materials yet. Clearly I do not have that issue, but if you're more of a seasoned Cricut user like myself, these projects are a great way to use up your scraps. I'll be using the Cricut Maker 3 in this video, but these projects can be made on any Cricut machine that you have. And speaking of which, today's video is sponsored by Cricut. Huge shout out, I use this all the time, I'm obsessed. So just in case you're not sure what a Cricut is, it's a smart cutting machine that allows you to create personalized projects with hundreds of materials like vinyl, iron-on, wood, paper, a whole bunch of different things. It works with a software called Design Space, which comes free with your machine. They have hundreds of images and fonts to design with, and when you're done, it's super easy to send it to your machine to cut. So with all that being said, let's just get into the projects. So when you first get your Cricut, the number one project that I would recommend starting with is making labels. I literally use this to label my whole entire craft room, and it's probably one of the most useful projects that I've ever done. This time, I decided to make a seasonal storage bin. I've been trying to go through my closet for the past couple months, and either I have a small closet or way too many clothes because I can never find anything in here. I figured I could make it easier on myself by putting away clothes that are out of season. This project is super easy. All you need is a plastic tote and some vinyl. It can be permanent or removable, it doesn't really matter. First, I measured where I wanted to put my label. Next, I went into Cricut Design Space, went over to the Shapes tab, and chose a square. I clicked this little lock button to unlock it, and entered my dimensions. I also changed the color to gray since that was the color of my tote. And since we're labeling both sides, I duplicated the rectangle. I ended up keeping it pretty simple. I just wrote summer on one side and winter on the other. I was originally going to do like snowflakes or a sun or something, but I thought that it looked nicer with just the text. Once you're happy with your design, go ahead and hide the rectangles, then click Make It to cut it out. Something that's really cool about the Cricut Maker 3 is the ability to use smart materials. Smart materials let you cut vinyl and iron-on without a mat. This is seriously so cool. You can just pop your material right into the machine and you don't even have to cut it. I used one of the vinyl samples that came with my machine. I also cut out some extra labels so that I wouldn't waste the vinyl. After I cut everything out, I went ahead and weeded my design. This just means that you remove all the elements of the design that aren't supposed to be there. And guys, I was so excited to finally get a Cricut Bright Pad. This is the Cricut Bright Pad Go. It's essentially a light box that helps you see what you're doing a little bit easier while you're weeding. For some reason, the W in winter did not turn out right. I don't really know what was up with that, so I had to redo that. But afterwards, I picked up my words with some transfer tape and use the scraper tool to add the labels to the bin. So the idea behind this is that in the winter you can put all your summer clothes in here and then have the summer label facing out, and then in the summer you can put all your winter stuff in here with the winter label facing out. If you're looking for more ways to organize your closet with Cricut, I also made these closet dividers. Another super easy project to make with your Cricut are these light switch plates. All you need is some permanent vinyl and a light switch cover. For this project, I made this template that you can find linked in the description. Then I went into the Images tab and found one that I wanted to use. Something that I've been loving recently is now you're able to actually save your favorite images in Cricut Design Space. And if you've ever tried to use Design Space, you know this makes it so much easier to find what you need. I ended up choosing this floral pattern. I shrunk it down to size and changed the color. Then I selected both the floral design and the light switch template and clicked Slice. I deleted everything I didn't need, then cut out my design. Again, I used Cricut's new Smart Vinyl for this. Honestly, I wasn't sure how I felt about this at first because I kind of thought that it would waste a lot of material. But I learned that you can actually still use up your Smart Vinyl scraps. All you have to do is put it on a regular standard grip mat like you would with normal vinyl, so you don't have to stress about using everything right away. Again, I weeded my design, then picked it up with my Cricut scraper tool and some transfer tape. I cleaned the light switch with some rubbing alcohol, then stuck on my design. I stuck it down with my scraper tool, peeled off the transfer tape, and that was it. I thought this light switch cover would look nice in my room. My old one was definitely looking a little bit rough. I'm pretty sure I made this in like 5th or 6th grade in Girl Scouts, and it does not look like it's been cleaned since then, so that's a little embarrassing. But did any of you guys do Girl Scouts when you were younger? Like, I had the best troop leader. We actually did so much stuff. I always hear people saying like, oh, I quit Girl Scouts because we never did anything. Like, we did so much. We went to California, we went to Peru, and even though we're all, doing our own thing now, we all still get together once in a while. I literally saw them twice last month, actually. There really wasn't a point to that story, but here's how my finished light switch turned out. Another fun way to use your Cricut is to make throw pillows. For this project, I used some black Smart Iron-On, my EasyPress 2, and a pillowcase. To design my pillowcase, first I made a square that was 18 by 18 inches. I changed it to this beige color, which was the color of my pillowcase. Then I looked for an image that I wanted to use. I really like these sort of abstract shapes. I've actually used these on a couple things so far, like this pen and the trash can in my bathroom. This image is actually multiple images grouped together. So what I did was I enlarged the image, then hid the shapes that I didn't need by clicking the eyeball next to them. Then I clicked on Group, and rearranged the shapes a bit more until I liked how they looked. Since my pillowcase was 18 inches, but the Cricut can only cut 11.75 inches wide, I had to separate my design into two sections. So I selected half of the images while holding down the Shift key, then clicked Group, so that when you cut them, they'll stay in this layout, and they'll have the right amount of space in between them. I clicked the eyeball next to the group to hide it, then selected the rest of the images and grouped those together. I unhid the first group of images, then deleted the square since we won't need that. Since I was using Smart Iron-On, I was able to cut the whole thing in one long piece. I weeded it, then used my EasyPress 2 to iron the design onto my pillow. If you're not sure what settings to use, Cricut has a heat guide on their website, which is super helpful. After ironing my design, I peeled off the plastic, and here's how my finished pillow turned out. Cricuts are awesome for making room decor like this. I've used my Cricut to make reverse canvases, wall decals, and all sorts of other little decorations. Another thing I made were these leather cord organizers. For this project, I used some Cricut Genuine Leather, this leather snap fastener kit, a deep point blade, and some iron-on. Again, you can find the template for this project linked in the description. First, I put my leather face down on my purple strong grip mat. Clearly this mat has seen better days, I really need to clean it, but for now I just taped down the edges of the leather with some masking tape. Man, between this and the light switch, this is not a good look, but I promise I clean. I just clean the important stuff, you know. I used a deep point blade to cut out my leather, and after the leather was cut out, I added my snaps. Honestly, for this, you can just follow the instructions on whatever snaps that you have. I just made it a little bit easier by cutting the holes with the Cricut instead of using the hole punch that came with the kit. When you're done, you should be able to fold it in half and snap it together like this. You could stop here, but I decided to cut out some little pictures from iron-on vinyl to help me figure out what each cord goes to. I used some of the leftover gold vinyl from when I made this beach towel last summer. I also made this scrap binder in a video, which is another one of my favorite Cricut projects that I've made. I cut out my designs, weeded them, then added them to the leather using my EasyPress Mini. The EasyPress Mini is awesome for smaller projects like this. I would highly recommend it. You can also use an iron, but if you do that, I'd probably put the design on before you put on the snaps. To use these, just feed one end of your cord through these little slits in the middle, wrap it up like you normally would, then snap it closed. And here's how my finished cord organizers turned out. Again, Cricuts are an awesome tool for helping you get organized. The last project that I made were these DIY stickers. There's actually a lot of ways to make stickers with your Cricut. I made some waterproof ones a while back using some printable vinyl. But this time, I wanted to try this new product called Smart Paper Sticker Cardstock. First, I picked out the images that I wanted to turn into stickers. Again, I made squares that were the size of the paper so that I could kind of gauge how big that the stickers were, and hid them before I cut everything out. Just like with the other Smart materials, the Smart Paper Sticker Cardstock doesn't need a mat. You can just pop it right into your machine. I used my Cricut Fine Point pen set to draw out the designs. This was definitely a bit of a process since I used so many different colors, but this would seriously be perfect if you like to do bullet journaling or any other type of physical planning. You could use this to make little habit tracker stickers, to-do list, and do all those other like little decorative things that just take so long to do by hand. Like, oh my gosh, like you guys know I don't do bullet journaling. I tried it in 2020. We all know how that went. But I also think this would be great for scrapbooking. That was one of my goals for this year, was to take more pictures, and I feel like it would be kind of cool to start printing them out. This would also be great for making cards too. Like, for real, I have been weirdly busy lately. Like, I've had a bunch of events to go to, and literally for every single one, I was out here making cards with my Cricut like an hour before it started. May or may not have been a couple minutes late to literally all of them. That's just how I am. But the great thing about having a Cricut is that you can pull everything together at the last minute, and people will still be all impressed because you made it. But that was everything for this video. Make sure to let me know which project was your favorite, and let me know if you've made any cool Cricut projects lately. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more videos just like this one. My merch, my website, and all my social media will be linked down below. Again, huge thank you to Cricut for sponsoring this video. All the products that I use will be linked down below. I love you guys so much, and I will see you guys later. Bye!